Dream Theater released a new single and I covered it in under 5 hours. How is this possible, you might think? Well, I'm going to tell you in today's video. Here we go. Hey guitar champion, what's going on? I'm 𝗚𝙗𝙦𝗚𝗚 back from my practice dojo and welcome to today's video. Yes, Dream Theater has released a new single, Night Terror, last week, and I, of course, had to do a cover in under 24 hours. This time it actually cost me only 5 hours. So my personal best time, my personal record, my PR. And underneath this video, a lot of you guys were commenting like, hey, how did you do it? How's the process? Do you have perfect pitch? What kind of technique do you need to do something like this? Etc, etc. And I want to answer some of these questions today. I want to guide you through the whole process on how I can learn a whole Dream Theater song in only 5 hours. So grab yourself a coffee, water, beer, tea, or an energy drink like I have here, and let's start this video. Or the best case would be when you would grab yourself a guitar, when you would warm up while watching this video, because here I'm a little bit more talking than playing, of course. So since 2019, since the single release of Fall Into the Light, I'm doing this. Trying to cover a Dream Theater song in less time possible. Mostly in under 24 hours. I do this because of 3 reasons. First of all, it is a lot of fun. Second, it is a really cool challenge, and with that challenge comes a lot of fun. And third, it's always a good promotional kind of thing for my channel here. And after doing these videos, more subscribers will come to this channel, more viewers. More viewers means more people who may watch my other stuff, which means more people that I can help with their shred technique in form of my shred lessons that I usually do here on this channel. And not only Dream Theater, I also did all the John Petrucci single releases from his solo record in 2020 and the Liquid Tension Experiment single releases from 2021, yes. And this one, Night Terror, was particularly interesting. Felt something, some sort of sense. I knew that something is coming. First of all, tomorrow will start the Dream Theater tour, the Dream Theater European Tour 40th anniversary. And since they announced that tour, I was thinking like, okay, they're probably going to release a single before that tour. That just makes sense on a promotional kind of level. Then they started to tease it with all the videos where they open their eyes. And I could calculate and anticipate a little bit when the single is going to be released. Well, because the first video of LeBrie opening his eyes was on a Sunday. So I thought, okay, now they're going to release every day a video of somebody opening their eyes. So Sunday, James, then Monday, I believe, was John. Tuesday, it was the other John Mayong. Wednesday, it was Jordan. So I thought, okay, the single is going to be released on a Friday. Because on Thursday, they probably will release a video where Mike is opening his eyes. And then they will announce, okay, the single will come on Friday. Because usually singles will be released on Friday. That's usually the day where they are dropping. Yeah, but not this time. This time they decided to release a single on a Thursday with the video of Mike opening his eyes inside of the video of Night Terror. And yeah, that was quite a surprise for me. Because I calculated, okay, Friday. So I cancelled certain dates on Friday. My plan was to go on a date with a female, a girl, something that not happened too often here in my case, on Friday. So I was thinking like, oh shit, I may have to cancel that date with that special girl. And I was really sad and worried about this. And then I was thinking like, okay, maybe when they release the song, it's maybe like 4 a.m. and I have time till 12 p.m. So maybe I wouldn't get that time. So I could calculate in my head like when to wake up, when to do, how much time I possibly will need, etc, etc. And then I was in my car driving to a friend of mine while Jens, my good buddy and drummer from Megalife, one of my best friends, he wrote me a message like, dude, the song is out. The song is out. And I was like, fuck, and instantly turned it on, listened to it, and I was like, shit, I have to do it. So I cancelled my dates that I had, or that friend that I actually tried to visit or wanted to visit on that Thursday, and drove home and then start transcribing it. I thought I could start transcribing it, but the next thing is that my Thursday morning started with nearly having a fire in my apartment because there was kind of a cable break, security break in my electricity box. You have this box in your apartment with all the securities in it, like when there is something overheating, then it turns off the stuff and the electricity. And something was wrong in that box, and I didn't have any power the whole day. And when the song was released, it was like 4 p.m. and it took till 7 p.m. till I had energy back in my apartment. So I started to transcribing it on my phone, like sitting here with my phone and trying to hear like the main riff, etc., etc. Luckily, I have to say, is that this song is actually pretty easy compared for Dream Theater standards. So I got like 50% down transcribing only with the phone, like the main riff, the main chord progressions, some of the melodies, a little bit of the solo stuff. Actually, the pretty fast diddle 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 that I transcribed with my phone. That was easy. Yeah, and then I started transcribing it part by part. And let's talk about transcribing a little bit. Some people ask me if I have perfect pitch. No, I don't have perfect pitch. I have a relatively well-trained and well-developed normal pitch. I have studied music. I've studied jazz guitar and music and guitar education here in Germany. And we have a lot of transcribing classes here in Germany. And we have a lot of classes where you have to hear music and you have to write it down. And I used to be much, much more trained than I am right now. I'm not in my peak when it comes to transcribing. Because back in that day, like let's say 8 years ago, I had to do it like every day in the transcribing classes, and there you even have to do it a level harder because you have to transcribe something without your instrument. So only listening in music, giving a reference note, and then finding the intervals and finding the right melodies or finding the chord progression, hearing, that's a dominant 7 even with inversions, hearing, that's a dominant 7 drop 2 inversion with the major third as a lower note. You had to know this kind of shit. So I used to have a much, much better trained ear than I have nowadays. But this training, of course, helps in these kind of situations, transcribing music. And especially transcribing jazz music and jazz guitar is even one level harder because of the production value that they had back in the day. Because sometimes you hear a noise and you don't know that noise. Was that a note on the guitar? Was it the snare of the drums? Was it something from the bass? Was it a door that was shut during the recording? I don't know. So this definitely helped me a lot. The next thing that helped me a lot when it comes to transcribing Dream Theater is I breathe the style of John Petrucci. Since 20 years, I'm studying his kind of style so much. It is my favorite guitarist. It is my favorite band of all time. Without the music of Dream Theater, I wouldn't sit here and I wouldn't have a life as a professional musician. So thank you, Dream Theater, I guess. No, but they don't reinvent the wheel. The riff, the licks, it's all... Some stuff is new here and there, new for Petrucci. Maybe certain licks, like the augmented sweep lick in the solo, something that Petrucci is doing not too often, but I know an augmented sound, and when I heard that sweep, I instantly knew, okay, that's an augmented sweep. And as well for the riffs, I easily, just by hearing, kind of know what kind of directions I have to go, like what kind of direction I have to go riff-wise or chord progression-wise, all this kind of stuff, because I've played so many Dream Theater songs in my life. I've covered so many Dream Theater stuff. I used to play in a Dream Theater tribute band, and I played with other musicians together Dream Theater on stage so many times. So I would say I'm kind of experienced when it comes especially to Dream Theater. Other music is much harder for me to transcribe than Dream Theater. When I had to transcribe, let's say, an Yngwie Malmsteen song, an Yngwie Malmsteen solo, this, for me, is much harder than transcribing something from John Petrucci. Because the next thing is, Petrucci's style of playing is so clean, and it's so organized and well structured, while Yngwie's playing, for example, he's the best comparison, is more wild and more improvised. And the one from Petrucci is really composed and really structured, and that's much, much easier to transcribe. So much about the transcription progress. The next thing that a lot of you guys asked was, what kind of guitar is that I'm playing? Is that an original Ibanez Petrucci Picasso guitar? It's an absolute beautiful guitar, but no, it's not an original guitar, because this color was never produced as for the market or as a product for everybody to buy. We have the P1 that looks like this. We have the P2, P3, P90th anniversary, I believe 7th string as well, I don't know. But this guitar is the Another Day guitar that Petrucci played in the Another Day solo, and he played it live in Tokyo. And this one with that color never was produced. Now, a good friend of mine and the German YouTuber 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝗵𝙦, he went to a guitar builder and said to him, can you make me a replica of that guitar with the same specs, but with the Picasso and that kind of color? So this guitar has the same specs like the Petrucci guitar, the same pickups, the same wood, the same neck, the same, I believe it is an original Ibanez neck, I'm not 100% sure, but the body, everything is original like it was with the Ibanez Petrucci signature guitar, and the pickups, and then it was painted with this particular color. Now first, he just gave me this guitar to make videos of it, etc, etc, and then he went like, okay, I don't actually want this guitar, you can have it, and I bought it from him for a few bucks. We had like a friendship deal because he's a good friend of mine, he's a really great YouTuber, and so yeah, that's my guitar. But it is not an original Ibanez Petrucci guitar. And even though Ibanez sent me exactly that day new guitars like this 7-string Quest here or this RGR, really cool metal guitar, but I said to them, guys, I know you would love to have your new guitars in that video, but I have to use, of course, the Petrucci guitar for this particular video. Now let's talk about the basic technique that you need to cover a Petrucci solo or a Dream Theater song. And there is another thing that really helped me. I'm somebody who is practicing his basic techniques on a daily level. Basic technique means right hand, left hand, sweeping, all these kind of things, but mostly right hand and left hand. I've created, especially for the right hand, for those who don't know it, my online masterclass, the ZEN of Speedpicking. In the ZEN of Speedpicking, I show you in more than 15 licks and exercises. 20 of them are actually licks from Petrucci himself that I transcribed and put in the ZEN of Speedpicking. And of course, 10 etudes, workouts for everybody who don't have much time on their hand to practice every day, a bulletproof practice routine and practice plan, and much more. I put that all into one masterclass so that you have the possibility to create the same picking technique that I have. If you are interested in the ZEN of Speedpicking, then check the link in the description box. When you're buying the ZEN of Speedpicking, you will get my second masterclass, the ZEN of Sweeping, for 50% off. So don't miss that chance. Check the link in the description box, get the ZEN of Speedpicking. Now, as I've mentioned, these basic techniques, they help me a lot for this kind of music. Because, again, Petrucci's playing is really structured and really well organized. So every picking lick is something that I definitely have played in my career so far, or that I definitely have prepared for this kind of moment through the exercises that I did in the ZEN of Speedpicking. So my technique is ready for these kind of things. You know, my technique is ready to learn a Dream Theater song in a really quick time. When Petrucci would now break his arm and they say like, okay, hey dude, we have to play that tour in, let's say, 1 month, 6 weeks or so, could you play it? I'm now cocky enough to say it would be possible. So now back to the process. Well, after I've transcribed everything step by step, I started to transcribe it as well so I don't forget it. That's mistake that I did while transcribing one of the Liquid Tension Experiment singles. There I forgot to write down what I was playing, and then I was transcribing everything, and I wanted to start filming and recording the cover, and then, fuck, how did I play this? How did I play this? I forgot it and I have to retranscribe it again. So I now always try to write it down or to record or to film myself very quickly how I'm playing it. And then I first do everything step by step. I like to start with the hard things. I didn't do it now because of the issue with my power here and everything. But usually I would start with a guitar solo, maybe some Unisian parts, maybe some harmony parts, and then in the end more kind of the simple riffs and the simple chord progressions. Simple. And now after transcribing everything and writing it down or filming myself, I then hit the shower, because of course you have to look good for these kind of videos, and these curly hairs, they need I have to put some stuff inside of it so they are so curly and beautiful. And then styling up the beard, turning on the cameras, and let's go. Here now, I did 3 versions, played everything to the first half, to the instrumental section, and then after the instrumental section. So what you hear is not a 100% playthrough, one take kind of thing. No. I split that up. It's for me. This is a speed run. Something like this is allowed. So I played like the first intro, the first verses, the riffs, the chorus, up to the instrumental section 3 to 4 times with different camera perspective, because that's one reason why I cannot do a one-take cover when I want to use different kind of cameras, because in my setup right now I can film with different cameras, but every camera is only activated for that moment where I'm filming it. And then I decide which take is the best. So what you are hearing comes from nearly a one-take version, like again to the first half and then after the instrumental to the end. But what you see is definitely not every time that what you hear. It is a different camera angle, but it is a different recording that you hear, because I choose a certain recording as the better one, or that this works best, or that here I didn't make so many mistakes and whatnot. Yeah, mistakes can happen, of course, and I did a lot of mistakes here as well. I realized after waking up the next day and seeing it like, oh, okay, the bendings in the main melody, I fucked that up a little bit. I definitely have to work on my bendings again. That is a little bit out of tune. The solo is not 100%, of course. I realized that in the fast speed picking instrumental section, I played it a little bit differently. I corrected that in the lesson that I made. So yeah, these kind of mistakes happen. And what I always skip are chord voicings, because there I say like, okay, fuck it. I mean, Petrucci has those wide chords with sus2 and maybe a little bit of melody in it. And somebody like even Bradley, for example, is a really good guy for transcribing all of this kind of stuff. But I want to focus, or I have to focus, because I also cover it. I'm not only transcribing it, I cover it. I have to focus on the more kind of technical things. So in the chorus I said like, okay, I know the main chords like C major, going to G major, etc., etc. I play those as power chords, and I'm not really getting into the sus2, sus4 kind of additional notes that Petrucci's adding to those chords. But I teached it in the lesson that I made afterwards. And in the lesson there, I took some time to check out other transcriptions and check out a little bit more the video, because that was a mistake that I did. I didn't check out the video. I was listening to that song and instantly started transcribing it. The first time that I saw the video, the official music video of Night Terror, was 2 days after I've made the single. And there I realized, oh shit, in the video you can actually see that he's using this fingering and not that fingering, and all these kind of little details. So maybe I should do this first next time, I believe. So, but yeah, basically that's it. That was how I covered Night Terror by Dream Theater. It is always, as I mentioned, a lot of fun. This is mostly the process of it. I mean, it was luckily a little bit easier kind of song, a little bit more thankful. Alien, I would say, was the hardest song that I had to cover from Dream Theater, because there we have a lot of rhythmical kind of nuances that was tricky to get, and there we have a much bigger kind of instrumental section that was technically more advanced and harder. So Night Terror is actually a pretty good song to get into the playing style of Dream Theater and Petrucci. Yeah, so much about that. I am really thankful for everybody who started supporting me after seeing this cover, giving my channel a subscribe. And if you have seen this video and haven't subscribed yet, now is the time, now's the chance. Thanks for everybody who's supporting me on my Patreon or get the ZEN of Speedpicking. I will always be there for you guys. And see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers, power your progress, goodbye.